Greetings and welcome to Safety Awareness for the Real Estate Professional. Hi, I'm Vicki Samuel, your scenario moderator. In response to the growing number of crimes against the real estate professional, the Georgia Real Estate Commission had this training program produced to help increase the need for safety awareness. As a mortgage consultant, I know that pre-approved buyers help deter crimes against you, the real estate professional. The more we both know about our clients, the less likely they are to commit crimes such as identity or property theft, or more serious crimes such as robbery or physical assault. In the following 7 scenarios, real estate professionals like yourself have volunteered to act out different situations that could set up your listing or showing as a crime scene, or you as a potential victim. In these different settings, you might be amazed at what seems to be an everyday activity that you would normally find yourself doing. But hopefully from today on, you can start to approach all of your real estate activities with that heightened sense of safety awareness. After reading the appropriate workbook section, viewing the video scenario, and discussing each situation as a group as to what you would do, listen to Ken Malcolm, a personal safety practitioner, as he gives his expert insight and suggestions. Now let's meet Mr. Malcolm.
Hello, I'm Ken Malcolm, co-founder of Personal Security Consultants. I am also a 20-year veteran of law enforcement. Many of my years in law enforcement have been spent investigating serious crimes against people and teaching the public important crime prevention techniques. Over the course of my career, I've worked with hundreds of real estate agents, teaching them the proper techniques that they can use to help reduce the opportunities for them to become victims.
In Know Who You Are Dealing With, verifying identity information can discourage a would-be assailant.
Hello, this is Lisa Ford. How may I help you?
Hello, this is John Smith. I apologize for calling you at home. I called your office and they gave me your number.
Oh, well, thank you for calling, Mr. Smith.
My wife and I saw your ad in the paper and would like to look at the house you've advertised on Elm Street.
That's a gorgeous house. Before we look at it, though, I would like to meet you and your wife at my office first.
Well, since we're so close to the property, I thought it'd be easier to meet there first. Can't we just take care of the paperwork and other stuff later?
Well, it is our company's policy to meet all of our clients at the office first. It won't take much time, and that way we can all get over to the house shortly thereafter.
I don't know. We just wanted to see the property first, and if we like it, we could take care of the paperwork later. We may not even like it. I'll have to check with my wife first.
Well, again, Mr. Smith, it won't take very long, and we can be at the house shortly.
Okay, well, I'll call back if we decide to do that.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Smith, and I look forward to your return phone call.
Thank you for your time. Okay, goodbye.
This situation must have been difficult for Lisa Ford. John Smith seemed like an honest, law-abiding citizen, and Lisa insisting that they first meet at the office obviously irritated this eager potential buyer. Sales and safety practices often contradict each other. From a personal safety practitioner's perspective, Lisa did the right thing. It is always wise to err on the side of caution. Office safety policies that require the prospect to meet their agent at the real estate office will often discourage an assault from occurring. You must remember, assailants, especially sexual predators, are goal-oriented. Their first goal is to successfully complete the assault. Their second goal is to simply get away with it, so they will be free to assault again. Knowing that a meeting at the agent's office can create potential witnesses who could later identify them to police may prevent an attack on this agent at a later time. Also, having written documentation of who these people are can help discourage these types of predators from targeting you. You should always collect unique identifying information to include the client's social security number, a current address, copies of photo IDs, and vehicle registration information. If the clients are reluctant to supply any of this information, use caution. Always check and verify all of this information and all listed references. Always know who you're dealing with.
In personal marketing, promote your professionalism, not your personal assets, to avoid drawing the wrong kind of attention to yourself in your marketing.
Good morning, this is Jane Campbell. Can I help you?
Hi, Jane. This is David Jones.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jane, and call me David. I'm getting ready to start a new job, and I'd like to look at some houses in the Amberwood Estates subdivision. My boss suggested that area, but I'm open to any suggestions you might have also. Are you familiar with that area, Jane?
Oh, yes, that's a lovely neighborhood, and there are some excellent schools in that area. Yes, what type and styles of homes are you looking for, David?
I like the traditional style home, combination of brick and stone front exterior. I've driven through that neighborhood, and it has a couple of vacant houses that I would like to see. Can you meet me at 356 Stone Circle tomorrow around 4 o'clock and show it to me?
Yes. Well, before I show you any homes, I would really like to get a better overall idea of what it is you are looking for, and I can look up that address to get you some more details on that particular home, but I would also like to check out to see what other homes are available in that area that might suit your needs.
Okay, Jane, but you know, I'd really like to see the one on Stone Circle right away. I noticed that your office isn't far from there. Do you think you could meet me there when I get off work today around 4?
Sure, I will gladly gather some additional information about the area in the meantime.
By the way, Jane, I'm looking at your picture in the magazine, and you take a great picture. I'm really looking forward to this, and I can't wait to meet you.
Jane Campbell just experienced a taste of what hundreds, maybe thousands of agents are dealing with each year. Stalking or sexual harassment is a growing problem in the real estate profession. Individuals disguised as clients interested in properties are instead more interested in the agents. These individuals often skim through real estate publications looking for agents to harass, stalk, or even attack. Most safety experts agree that how you market yourself can often determine whether you will experience this type of terrifying ordeal. Jane seems like a very professional agent. However, her style of dress should be more conservative. I suspect Jane's printed advertisements are much like her appearance in the video, designed to get attention. Sometimes this approach attracts the wrong kind of attention. You should attempt to avoid attracting those contacts who want to see more of you instead of the properties you list. Flashy jewelry symbolizes wealth. Showing off your diamonds and pearls in pictures printed in your promotional publications, or even worse, while showing the home, definitely can increase your risk of becoming a victim of robbery. Leave these items in large amounts of cash at home or locked securely in your office. This is another example of how safety and sales techniques clash. The competitive nature of this industry suggests that we should go to great lengths to sell ourselves to potential clients. This may tempt you to place your home phone number, address, or other personal information on your business card or printed publications, instead of just an office and cell number. Magnetic signs on your vehicle announcing that the $1 million seller is driving by may attract that potential client that you're looking for, but it also may attract that person that sees that $1 million producer as someone that carries a large amount of cash. This type of behavior should always be reported to the police and your local board of real estate professionals.
In danger is not always easy to identify. Listen to your instincts carefully and take the necessary precautions.
What year was it built in?
81.
Really? Well, it looks very well maintained.
You know, these steps may be a little bit of a problem for me.
Well, I'm sure your leg will heal soon, or else you could go through the garage. The door's here for you. Come on in.
Thank you.
This home has been totally repainted throughout. The floors have been refinished, and that's throughout the house. If you'll notice how large this living room is and how easily it accesses the dining room. The dining room, of course, accesses the kitchen. Would you like to look at the den?
Please.
Okay, if you'll notice how spacious this room is, also accesses the kitchen.
Nice fireplace. Looks like it might be a masonry fireplace.
I believe it is also a masonry
Is it?
And the
fireplace.
gas logs, that's
Yeah,
a great
that's a
feature.
great
They're a new
feature.
addition as
Yeah.
well. Let's go this way, if you will, to the
Okay.
kitchen.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead. Back here you will find new countertops. Kitchen cabinets have all been refurbished. There's a new sink, new floors as well. In this space you'll find new countertops. The kitchen cabinets have been refinished, as well as they put new fronts on the cabinets, new doors and drawer fronts. They also added this bay window over here, which is accesses or views the new porch that was recently put on.
I really like the bay, and I love this surface being all the way to the window. It's going to make it so easy to clean.
It's a great place to put plants as well, and it's just a wonderful spot to look out and view the backyard while you do
Great
dishes.
feature. And look at the size of the sink. This is really huge.
It is a great
It's
spot,
going to
isn't
make
it?
cleanups in here very, very easy. He'll be along in just a minute, I'm sure. He's with his leg. He has a little bit of trouble
Yeah.
getting along, but I'm sure he'll be here in just a minute. Do you know if the countertops have just been recent addition?
Just recently, in the last 6 months that they've been added. Mr. Campbell?
There's a corner cabinet here too. That's great. Do you mind if I check that out?
Well, no, not at all. But Mr. Campbell, you okay, sir?
It just takes him a little extra time. He'll be here in just a minute.
We'd like to come in and take a look at the dining room. This room, as with the others, has recently been repainted. Also, the floor's also been refinished.
Tell me a little bit about the crown molding. Is it going to be white, or are they in the process of painting it gold like the rest of it?
But it's going to white. As I said, this is a work in progress, and they're still getting it done or painted. But it will be white as well. If you like, Miss Campbell, why don't you take a look at the foyer, and I'm going to make a quick phone call. I'll be right with you. It won't take but a second.
Okay, thank you.
Dolores, this is Richard. Have you got a moment? I've got maybe a problem over here. I'm out with Mr. and Miss Campbell again, and I seem to be having trouble keeping up with both of them at the same time. Mr. Campbell keeps wandering off by himself, and I don't know, just something doesn't feel comfortable about that. Could you come over to 1194 Dover Trail? Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks. Miss Campbell, if you'll notice.
Richard is obviously an experienced agent whose instincts have told him something is wrong. You should follow these instincts. They are usually on target. Unfortunately, in my many years of law enforcement experience, I have interviewed countless victims who've told me that they knew they were about to be attacked. They didn't follow these same instincts. Richard's only mistake was letting Mr. Campbell out of his sight. Agents should try to avoid leading their clients through the home. Instead, follow them. This affords you the ability to view any suspicious activity. This is a common technique used by criminals. One distracts you while the other commits the theft or attack. Many agents have fallen victim to this technique. Be aware when someone like Mrs. Campbell is attempting to distract you. You should also be aware that most criminals that attack, over 75%, are not armed. They rely on the element of surprise to be successful. Stay focused. Don't become distracted. Always attempt to keep your clients in front of you and at a safe distance. A good practice would be to remain in the doorway while your clients examine the room. Scan each area of the property for escape routes or a safe room should the client attempt to attack you. Remember, escaping an attack may not necessarily mean outrunning the criminal to an exit. Locking yourself in a room long enough to call 911 for help can be just as effective. If at all possible, avoid showing basements. Simply say, "I need to make a quick call," while you view the basement, or "I hate basements, I'll wait here." Basements offer an attacker a prime location to strike in what is already the perfect crime scene. Many basements have no windows, are often dark, and little or no sound can penetrate the thick mortar. Your cries for help will not be heard. I strongly recommend that each real estate office come up with not one distress code, but a series of codes. That way you can communicate important information to your office in an inconspicuous manner. The use of codes allows information to be given in the presence of the suspicious clients. Many current office safety policies and practices already include an emergency distress code. But in Richard's case, and many just like it, an airstrike or a SWAT team entrance is simply not needed. Another agent to help watch Mr. Campbell is. You experience different levels of concerns when you are alone with a client, from mild to severe. Your distress codes should reflect those same concerns.
In open house on-site safety, share your itinerary with someone in the office or with family members, and make sure your prospect knows that you have shared this information. Also, every office should have a policy regarding sign-in sheets for prospects.
Thank you.
And preview
Enjoyed
this
it.
gorgeous
Thank
home.
you. Nice to
Keep
meet
it-
you.
Thank you, Mrs. Matthew. Mrs.
Thank you,
Matthew,
Barbara.
appreciate it. You coming by, previewing this lovely home. Enjoyed meeting you. Keep it in mind that you preview other areas in the
Okay.
neighborhood, and love to have you here.
Great, great. I
Thank
truly enjoyed it.
Great.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye, Sam.
Bye.
Thank
You all have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, hon, it's me. Listen, it's been a slow day here, and we just had one family to leave, the open house, and beautiful family, gorgeous house. It seemed like it would sell, but listen, I'm going to be leaving in about 15 minutes. I just want to let you know, and I'm packing up now, so if you don't hear from me, give me a call back. Talk with you soon, hon. Bye-bye. Can't wait to sit down and relax my feet.
hold on. I'd like to get in your open house today. I've been driving around the neighborhood. I know that you're probably getting ready to head out, but I'd really like to see this house. It looks like it's going to fit what I'm looking for.
And you missed a whole open house. I have a flyer here if you want to look and preview on that. And
this house looks exactly what I'm looking for. My wife and I and our 2 daughters were moving in from out of town, and they're not with me today, but I'm just out trying to get some information on the neighborhood, and this neighborhood is awesome. And I'd really, really like to see this house. It's got the right number of bedrooms and baths that we're looking for.
I just called and let them know I was coming home in about 15 minutes.
It'll only take just a few minutes.
You're not going to be in town any other time than now?
I am getting ready to leave on a business trip for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be going out of the country, so I need to get everything together. I'm going to send everything to my wife so she can look that over so when I come back. It'll only take just a few minutes. Please?
Well, okay, we'll just do it very quickly then.
A 2003 National Association of Realtors safety survey indicated that real estate agents from around the country say that they have experienced a safety concern while working in an open house setting. From harassing intoxicated neighbors to interested buyers arriving after the open house hours of operation end, just like in this case, agents are placed in many uncomfortable and potentially dangerous situations. Safety practitioners like me stress the importance of first meeting new clients at the agent's office. In an open house setting, agents are much more vulnerable to attack because we invite everyone to a listing without first meeting them in a much safer environment. We need to collect the basic information on each client in order to be safe. This potentially eliminates the opportunity for unexpected help to arrive in the way of other potential buyers, should she be attacked. This agent's vehicle was blocked in by the late arriving individual, impeding her ability to use it should she need to escape. This agent is obviously perturbed by the late arriving potential buyer and is in a hurry to complete the tour of duty. Hopefully in her haste, she'll remember to practice safety techniques like logging necessary information about this client and remembering to allow the individual to lead her through the property. In open house settings, the target of the criminal may be the property itself. Make sure you encourage the property owner to secure all of their valuables. While showing the home, be sure to watch for suspicious behavior. A burglar may use an open house as an opportunity to case it for a later strike. This is another reason why it is so important to accurately log all visitors to the home. Maintain communication throughout your tour of duty with someone from your office or another responsible adult. When you first arrive, carefully examine the exterior and interior for anything unusual. Locate all exits and safe rooms in the house. If you feel comfortable with the neighborhood, meet a next-door neighbor and let them know your agenda. Invite another agent to work the site with you. In the video, our agent calls home to let her family know that she is on her way to meet them. She attempts to avoid the meeting using this as an excuse. You should always look for ways to let clients know that other people are aware of your location at all times. After giving in and deciding to reopen the house, our agent should have called her family again to let them know that she had an additional client and give them a new expected time of arrival. If she felt uncomfortable, she could have used her distress codes, or at least keep an open line.
In commercial, industrial sales, and property management, sales agents and property managers should be extra diligent on a daily basis due to the nature of their jobs.
this place? Well, Mr. Williams, hi. I'm Mr. Keith.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Sorry it took so long.
Yeah.
I don't get over in this part of town very often. Let me grab a couple of things here. Mr. Williams, when do you plan on relocating your business?
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different factors right now that we're considering.
Sure, I understand. And how many employees do you have?
Right now we have 50 employees.
That's great. That is great. I understand you're from Chicago?
Yeah, the Windy City.
How about that? It's been a long time since I've been up there.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll definitely enjoy our fair city here. It's really a great place to be.
A little warm for a jacket.
Yeah, you're right about that. I spoke with the owner, and I do believe that the power is off, so that's why I got my handy-dandy flashlight. And,
It's off?
yes, sir, the power is off.
Good thing it's at nighttime.
That's right. Thank you. All right. Well, I don't believe the electricity's on. Let me try this. No, but that's why I wanted to meet you during the daytime, so we had some natural light. And my
Just
apologies.
this area right here?
Well, no. Actually, this is the warehouse right here, if I'm not mistaken. There's 50,000 square feet, 10 docks, and over in this direction we have 10,000 square feet of office, and I have the perfect office up there for you. I have not seen it personally, but
How would you know if it's perfect? I mean,
well,
you haven't seen the building yet?
It's been described to me, and I know it would be absolutely perfect for you.
You think I'll be able to know if it's perfect without any lights on?
Well, that's why I brought my flashlight, and I think that you know, with the natural light and my flashlight, we can see a good portion of it.
You know, I come all the way down here from Chicago.
Well,
and there's no lights on. You want us to look at 50,000 square feet with a flashlight?
Well, we'll do our best.
Well, I mean, that's all we can do right now, but I can tell you right now, I'm not going to want to be walking around a building with a flashlight all day.
Well, I do believe that we have enough here that we can probably put this thing together, and I'd love to sit down with you and go ahead and get a contract going. What do you think about that?
A contract for what, this building?
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what are they going to just cut the price on it for me?
Well,
there's no electricity.
I think there's something that we can work out. I really do.
You do.
And let me draw up a contract. And excuse me, just a second here.
Well, did you work on the?
Excuse me, just yes.
Remember
I'm
this
with
warehouse?
Mr. Williams right now. Would you like to see the warehouse, sir? I've got a flashlight here. If you'd like to see that, take that. Thank you very much.
Look at it with me while you're on the phone.
No, I believe I'll just step outside for just a minute and let you go ahead by yourself. Thank you.
In order for a crime to occur, 3 elements must be present: ability, desire, and opportunity. Property management offers many opportunities for a criminal to act. Managers often show empty properties. They are required to collect rental fees, which increases the probability of being robbed. Properties are sometimes in scarcely populated areas where few people could come to your aid. Property management often involves showing abandoned dark warehouses. Cell phone reception is sometimes interrupted because of the structure, and sometimes the location of the property is in a no-service area or dead spot. In this scenario, our agent, Mr. Keith, is ill-prepared. He arrives late in his expensive convertible, fumbles through his materials, and leaves his open vehicle in an empty lot. He gives the obvious impression that he would be an easy target. Always allow yourself extra time to find a listing that you've never seen before. Attempt to arrive at any listing before your client. This allows you time to open and visually inspect the location for any dangers. It also allows you the opportunity to focus on your client's arrival. What type of vehicle is he or she driving? Did the client arrive with any unexpected guest? Is the client acting odd or suspicious? Mr. Keith did not seem familiar with the background on his client. Based on Mr. Keith's obvious lack of preparation, one might assume that his office probably did not have any recorded specific information on this client. nor Mr. Keith's agenda. Mr. Keith knew the power was off, but he only brought one small flashlight for him and Mr. Williams to share. Who gets the flashlight? How could these two together walk safely through a large warehouse and office space with only one flashlight? Borrow this slogan from the Scouts: be prepared.
In office safety, brokers play a key role in the safety of their agents. All brokers must express the importance of safety measures.
Hi there, I'm Stanford Humphrey. My friends call me Stan. I needed to purchase a townhouse like yesterday. I don't have much time for that. My employer wanted me to come back as quickly as possible and start reviewing some of my cases.
Mr. Humphreys, we ask all of our new clients to fill out some standard forms. If you would like to just have a seat over there and fill those out, I'll ask James Roberts, he's one of our most experienced agents, to come in shortly. James, I have a Mr. Stanford Humphreys out here to see you. Okay, thank you. Mr. Humphreys, he'll be right out.
Mr. Humphreys, my name is James Roberts. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
My receptionist, Ms. Johnson, has told me that you have a real crush for time, and I understand that. Why don't we go ahead and get through the paperwork, and then we can go out and look at some properties that I'm sure will meet your needs.
Jimmy, let's skip to this paperwork chase. I don't have time today. I'm here just to look at townhouses, so let's go. I'm an attorney. I usually like to read everything, and it's not enough time today to read all these forms.
Yes, Mr. Humphreys, I understand. I work with a lot of attorneys around town, and I understand the need to read documents before you sign one. So why don't you take that document with you? And that will give me time in the meantime to look up some properties for you to review online. That'll save us about 16 hours. And then when you come back, we can pick out about 3 properties for us to go out and take a look at. That'll only take about 3 hours altogether. What do you think?
Jimmy, let's get real. I don't need to read these forms. I'm legit. I don't know why you question my credibility.
Well, Mr. Humphreys, maybe.
The safety of real estate professionals depends largely on the emphasis placed on it by the management staff of each office. Brokers must create a safety-first and sales-second culture within its ranks in order to reduce the many opportunities that agents are susceptible to attack. In our video, we see an already impatient client, Stanford Humphreys, enter the office and request a meeting with an agent. Humphreys becomes more agitated when the receptionist asks him to fill out what looks like an extensive series of forms. Real estate agent James Roberts attempts to calm the flustered attorney and follow his established office policy, requiring a completed information packet before proceeding. But Mr. Roberts seems to be losing his battle. A simple prospect identification form is designed to be a quick and easy way to obtain the detailed information needed on each client. Information includes name, address, employer, and vehicle registration. Copies of photo identification should be attached to this form. This information should be obtained on every prospect. It should be stored in a central location of the office, accessible to office support staff and other agents as well. This procedure confirms the legitimacy of each client. Always look for inconsistencies in the information given. Be aware of the growing problem of identity theft here in Georgia. Believe it or not, criminals are sometimes buying property now using someone else's identity. They should be acutely familiar with their office distress code. should one of their agents call and communicate one to them. In the event one of their agents is missing, they must be able to locate the client and agent identification forms as quickly as possible and forward that information to police.
In fight or flight, there is no right or wrong way to respond to a confrontation. Every situation is different.
I think it's great compared to this, and this one we started last week, and this is going down to the basement. Would you like to go down and see?
We'll catch it later.
Okay, and real nice coat closet here, and all of the bedrooms are on all the way the other side. This is a real nice hallway, and it's all together here.
Okay.
Yes, yes, and a lot of update on this house, and compared to the last two that we just saw.
All right.
Yes, yes. Here's the master bedroom. This have a real nice feature. Nancy, this is a real nice walk-in closet right here, and a big size. I think it's very important for you, and have all the built-in, and also have a nice ceiling fan, and very bright. We have a lot of window in this master bedroom, and a good size. What do you think? How do you like it so far? Okay. And one of the things that's all of the, you know, if you notice, all of the floor are hardwood floor here. And, oh, this is great. You see this big, great window here with a built-in sitting area. I think this is best. I mean, oh no, oh no, oh please don't do that. Oh, someone please help. Oh no, no, oh no, no, please call the police. Oh, please don't do this to me. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, please, please, please.
In our final scene, our agent is facing the real estate professional's greatest fear, the fear of being kidnapped, raped, or even murdered. Our real estate agent is panicking, so the likelihood of her escaping is doubtful. Our agent is literally backed into a corner. Does she have a plan? No, a series of plans in order to create an opportunity to escape. Unfortunately, there is no simple, foolproof method to escape a confrontation like this. That is why you should consider many different strategies and choose the one that best fits the situation and the characteristics of the assailant. Negotiations. Talk to the attacker. Try to appeal to his or her sympathies. Tell them that you are sick, you have cancer, you have a venereal disease, AIDS, epilepsy. Tell them you are pregnant. Tell them a repairman is due, that your husband is coming to meet you, that someone else has an appointment there also. The longer you talk, the more time you allow unexpected help to arrive. It also gives you time to choose a plan that creates an opportunity to escape. Sometimes shouting, demanding, or aggressive terms like "no," "stay back," "leave me alone" can disrupt the attacker. Physical resistance. The National Association of Realtors recommends that each agent attend a self-defense course. Their agents can learn the basic techniques needed to defend themselves. Punches to the throat, knee lifts to the groin, and other quick strikes can be effective, but agents must commit the time to learn and practice the correct application of these techniques in order for them to be effective. Firearms, knives, and stun guns. I strongly recommend that agents elect not to carry these weapons while on duty. Accessibility is a key issue here. Will you be able to access this weapon should you need it? Lack of training or practice with these weapons is also a concern. Police officers like myself spend hours training in order to be proficient with our weapon. Pepper spray. The National Association of Realtors and I both agree that all agents should carry pepper spray on them at all times. They allow you the opportunity to conceal them without your client noticing it. In our scenario, our agent could have possibly escaped should she had a pepper spray unit in her possession. Unfortunately, attempts to defend yourself and escape an attack are not always successful. In the event you become a victim, remain calm. Call 911 immediately. Seconds count. Police may be in the area and may be able to arrest the perpetrator. Sadly, only half of the sexual assaults that occur in the United States are reported. Remember, you were probably not this perpetrator's first victim. Please work with police to ensure that you'll be the last.
On behalf of the Georgia Real Estate Commission, I want to thank you for participating in the Safety Awareness for the Real Estate Professional Training Program. Thank you and safe selling.